Hi, welcome to Free Meditation TV. My name's Andrew and this is Oksana.
Good evening. Today we will talk about how to use discretion in our life.
Discretion means making the right choice in the right moment. And how is that possible sometimes when we feel our life, we get in a bit of a tunnel vision and one thing just stumbles into another and we don't even really remember what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. We just feel we're solving one thing to the next and getting all our tasks done.
With Sahaja Yoga, there is a chakra that actually responsible for our discretion. It's called Hamsa chakra. It's located right here between our eyes, and on the subtle level, it's located outside the path of the Kundalini and is built by the left and right channel. So Hamsa, Ham comes from I am, from the right channel, and Sa comes from the left channel. So what is Hamsa? It's a balance between I am and you are, between right side and left side.
In last episodes, we talked about how the right side is like that energy, the active force, the active channel, kind of putting on the gas. The left side, of course, then would be the brake. The left side is being able to watch things without working. So that's the art of balance in the Hamsa chakra. The discretion is when you put on the gas and when you put on the brake.
In our daily life, we use the left channel, our conditionings, and right channel, our ego, to make discretion. For example, if we're conditioned to like some food and not like other foods, so obviously all our discretion would be tainted by these conditionings. Or if we're very egotistical people, so we think, okay, I know the best, I'll do the best, again, discretion would be tainted by that. So how to use vibration is the new way how to use the Hamsa chakra.
Essentially, you can check vibrations on things. So if you're making a decision, you can actually put out your hands and meditate on that decision. If you feel at peace with yourself, if you feel a cool energy in your palms, then you can go ahead. If you feel a lot of heat or a lot of stress and anxiety inside, then it's best not to. Another way of looking at this is when you're making a decision is in the timely moment. How is this going to affect yourself and how is this going to affect others? And another way of thinking of it that way is that with regular meditation, what happens is that you go beyond your mind. The energy rises from the base all the way up above the Sahasrara to the top. And when you feel the energy, you become a collective person. Now, have you ever tried to solve your friend's problem? Yes, and it was relatively easy because you were detached from the situation. You were helping your friend out. So with meditation then, what happens is when the energy is up, you kind of detach yourself from yourself and you're able to look at things objectively. Essentially, the best friend of discretion is objectivity, is not being attached to the situation. And those are when you're going to make your best decisions when you're not attached to the outcome.
I will add to that we have to learn use vibratory awareness to enhance our discretion, but we have to get to it. For example, when we feel a tingling on any finger, it's just a tingling. But when we associate, if there is a tingling, say, on the middle finger, and then there is a problem with our stomach, then we would know that it connects. So if we feel something, we know that there might be a problem. Another thing, we could also check on other people. Maybe we feel something on other people and we could ask, do you have a problem with your stomach? Because I feel something on you. And the person might say, yes, how do you know? This is how you use discretion in vibratory awareness. And by experiencing it, by using it in the daily life, you build this vibratory discretion.
Vibratory awareness comes from regular meditation and having your attention inwards and being able to meditate better and checking your energy regularly on your hands, doing treatments like foot soaking, and that way you'll start to feel the energy. It sounds kind of unbelievable that I could just put up my hands and check Oksana's vibrations and see if there was energy in her stomach, or she could do the same to me, but it's true, and you don't have to believe us. It's something that you just simply try and build up and you can feel for yourself.
This is the one thing with Sahaja Yoga meditation. It is only with experience that you start feeling that and building this expression, this discretion within yourself. Whatever we tell you, it's just words. You have to build this energy within.
That's why we enjoyed the meditation so much. Oksana and I are kind of logical thinkers, and we like things to be proven, and that this is tangible. You can actually feel this energy in your hands as a coolness or a heat or a tingle, and you can learn to figure that all out, and it gets better over time.
And now we will all watch lecture of Sri Mataji. She's the founder of Sahaja Yoga. She'll tell us about what is Hamsa Chakra.
Or we can say that at this time, at this point, all our reactions, which are what you call reflex reactions, finish off. So supposing now I get some dirty smell, I'll close my nose like that. Or if I can't hear, I'll just pull my ears like this. Or if I see something dirty, or if I see something jarring, my eyes will close automatically. If somebody tries to put a pin through me, immediately I'll spontaneously. It's all built in within my system and your system too, that you react with reflex action. Same thing may not happen to animals. Animals are different. Some animals have certain reflex actions, some have some reflex actions. But we are different, and our reflex actions, we are all practically just the same. There's not much individuality. There isn't much difference in our reflex actions. At the most, with conditioning, somebody might say, yeah, somebody might say, oh, somebody may say something. That's different. But the reflex actions are just the same. So up to the reflex action, we don't have to use discretion. Then starts our discretion part. As discretion starts when we are using these two nadis which meet here without going to the Agya. So when these two nadis meet here, what happens? We start seeing through our experiences. First would be a reflex action, automatic reflex action. The second is when, supposing a child, if you tell the child, now this is hot, don't put your hand there, he won't listen. Put the child. With the experience, he will develop reflex actions, the conditionings of it. So thus reflexes are built in within us. Also, they are built in within us with, we should say, with other conditionings like, you see, in a country, supposing there's racialism, or in a country like ours, there's a caste system, then person react according to what they have learned from childhood. All these conditionings could be of the present day when you are born. All these conditionings can be built into your Hamsa Chakra, which have come from your training of the mind. You can say the experiences of the mind, the experiences of the society, of your knowledge, of your education, the way you are conditioned can be built in here, in the Hamsa Chakra. And it reacts to things which has no meaning. If you I hate someone, why? Because that person wears a blue jean or something, or you can say a green shirt. Now this is built in your mind. Or sometimes this falling in love also comes from the same kind of a conditioning. Supposing you had met somebody who had, say, blue eyes and was kind to you. So you have fascination for a person who has blue eyes. There's no pure idea about beauty. There's no pure idea of happiness. There's no pure idea of aesthetics. All is conditioned. For some people this is beautiful, for somebody this is not beautiful. So this is the place where these interchanges take place between both the nadis. And here the Hamsa lies outside the path of Kundalini. They sort of come out here, out of the path of Kundalini. It's very surprising. When the Kundalini moves, she goes from Vishuddhi direct to Agya. Now, how can we improve our Hamsade? Is a big problem. Because if our Hamsa is sick, is over conditioned, the Kundalini cannot work on it. It just gives up. Now, so for Hamsa we use all these physical things. Like I said, put the ghee in the nose. Keep it in a way that it is nourished properly. Because Kundalini, if it tries to, too much will have problem. Problem because as it is, most of our time we spend in such a manner that your Hamsa things become what you call the epithelial cells, the linings become dried out. Now when the Kundalini rises, she may try to create a problem more for that dryness. Maybe. So it is kept out, but it has an effect in the sense that even if there is a light outside, it can fall inside. So it's not the Kundalini directly that affects your Hamsa. It is like when the Kundalini awakens, you yourself see now that a person is, whether he is fair complexioned or dark complexioned, he is a human being. You reason it out and Hamsa clears up. Then you see yourself that, oh, I am very egoistical. You start seeing yourself through your Agya. Start seeing that I am so conditioned. So you reason it out. And that's how you correct your conditionings. This is what is Hamsa Chakra. So Hamsa Chakra cannot be done if just you are a realized soul. But is an effect, is the symptom of your Kundalini awakening. Some people think that you develop discretion just as the Kundalini rises. Is that wrong? No. That has to be deliberately seen, that you build up that discretion within yourself. But once it is built, for example, my discretion is absolute. I just know what it is. See, my conditioning here is absolute. It's one with the Kundalini, one with reality. But for human beings, it has to be reflected by understanding. Like a child, he touches something hot, then it is hot. Now, this is hot because it's heated up. So you see a person is catching on the right heart. Right, he's catching on the right heart means he has got a right heart and he is suffering from such and such thing. You have to see it yourself. Now, if you tell the person, are you suffering from, say, asthma? He said, yes. How do you know? I know it because I have learnt it through my finger, which was burning. That's why.
Welcome back. Now we'll have a short meditation. Please put your hands like this on your lap, and we're going to try to feel the energy rising from the bottom of the spine right up to the top of the head. Today's topic was on discretion and the balance in our life. So when you meditate today, if you have a thought or you're thinking, just simply say, not this, not that. Try to find your point of balance. You can also find the point of balance by feeling the energy above the top of your head.
Welcome back. And in this segment, we will answer some of your questions. Do we have any questions?
Yes, we have a few questions. Question number 1. I didn't understand the meaning of checking vibrations.
Checking vibrations is the way it works when Kundalini energy is awakened within us, and when it crosses at the top of our center, we have this ability to feel on our fingertips. We have ability to feel vibrations of ourselves and of other people. How do we feel it? With our attention. If we put attention on ourselves, we could feel tingling and burning, and that would be indicative to whatever there is if there is tingling, there could be some problems within ourselves. The same idea, when we know our vibrations and our Kundalini becomes more strongly, we could in a way reflect, we know what other people's vibrations. So we just put attention, or we could just say the name of somebody, and immediately we feel tingling on our fingers, or it could be cool if a person is balanced. This is what it means to check vibrations.
Vibration checking is kind of hard to feel at first, but then what happens is you get very sensitive to it. So a computer expert is very sensitive to how computer code would be made and how effective that would be on a computer. A musician would be very sensitive to the tuning of a musical instrument. A mechanic or a car race driver would be very sensitive to the handling on a car around corners, whereas, everyday people like us might not be very sensitive to those things. But everyday people can be sensitive to the vibrations because the vibrations are inside of you and they express themselves on your nervous system. So slowly, you can feel the energy in your nerve endings, as Oksana said, in your hands. And a lot of times in our meditation program, we say try to feel the energy above your head. And you don't have to try too hard. Maybe you didn't feel any vibration or you're still a little bit unsure, and that's totally fine. But every week you meditate, you're going to get a little more sensitive, just like a musical master on their violin. They're very sensitive to the tuning of their violin.
Another question?
Question 2. Is indecision symptomatic of a damaged hamsa, and if so, how can it be repaired?
I wouldn't say it's systematic of the damaged Hamsa chakra. It could be, in a way, it could be our conditionings, like we're not used to make decision. But this way, we don't have to make ourselves do this, make decision. What we do is really use vibrations. For example, you could put your attention on something. You say, should I read this book? You just take the book, read it, and immediately on your hands you might feel nice, cool sensations. So spontaneously you know that this book is really good for you. The same goes when you talk with somebody, when you listen to the music. These vibrations come spontaneously. So what we are saying, that it enhances our decision-making process. Not only we use our ego and conditionings, we use vibratory awareness.
And indecision comes when you're attached. Like if you look at your friend and your friend goes, oh, I don't know what to do, help me out, these are my two choices. Usually within about 5 seconds, you can help your friend. Maybe you have to ask a little bit of background information, but you're totally detached from your friend's problem and you can help them solve it immediately. But human nature, so hard, that's why we feel indecision. Well, I could do this, but I could hurt that person's feelings, or I'd really like to do that, but that costs too much money, or we run all this thought through our mind, at least I do, and when it comes to yourself, that's why when you regularly meditate, you slowly learn to detach yourself from your thoughts and feelings. You try to raise yourself to that little bit of a higher level where you can laugh at yourself, you can pump yourself up when you're feeling depressed, and that's where meditation comes in, to try to be a little more objective, and then you'll find the indecision will fade away and be more confident in your decisions.
And the more you learn to detach yourself, the better you would feel vibrations. Another question?
How can the Hamsa chakra be improved?
Well, there are different ways Hamsa chakra could be improved. It's because Hamsa chakra located outside the path of Kundalini. It's basically located at the level here at our sinus. So if we have some sinus problems, there is, especially in the winter, in cold winter month, we could get problems in our nasal, we get congested. What we do in Sahaja Yoga, we could put a little ghee melted and put it in our nostrils. What happens, especially if you've been using a lot of nasal sprays, you could have burned the passages there, and you might not feel, even the sense of smell could be lost. So what you do is just gently put this melted purified butter, and you will feel that it will heal, and you might feel, even if you have a lost sense of smell, it will improve. And bit by bit, when physically is better, it also will become better on the subtle.
It's spelled Ghee. It's found at Indian store. It's called ghee, and what it is it's called purified butter or clarified butter, where the butter is being strained, and you can put a drop of it up in the nasal passage just to lubricate the area so that it isn't dried out.
No more questions. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and if you have any questions whatsoever or suggestions, please send us an email. We'll be more than happy to get back to you.